And we are back. Welcome to the third and final instalment of your European previews and predictions on the channel for this week. It is finally time for the return of the UEFA Europa Conference League playoff. First legs coming at you once again. Of course, if you've missed any of the predictions we have done over the last few days, you can check out all the videos. Links will be available to every video I've posted this week. At the top of your screen right now, that is my Champions League predictions for the remaining 4 games taking place tonight. All of the Europa League predictions taking place tomorrow. And of course, if you missed yesterday's bonus video, I've got a 5-minute video covering everything you need to know about tonight's Merseyside derby between Everton and Liverpool in the Premier League. So plenty of videos for you to get stuck into. And whilst you're on them or whilst you're around, please do consider subscribing to the channel if you're new around here, so don't miss out on any of the future prediction videos we have got coming up. We've obviously got our Premier League preview and predictions coming for you on Friday. And then we'll be doing the second legs for the Champions League, Europa League and Europa Conference League all next week as well. So plenty for you to get ingested in. And of course, don't forget to drop a like on this video if you do enjoy all of the predictions series. And as we look ahead to the playoff first legs, you'll see that after match day 6, because there were only 6 match days in the Europa Conference League, that we are on 60 out of 108 with 5 correct scores. So not the best, not the worst, but it is an incredibly difficult competition to call, as you've also experienced with the Europa League as well. But we've got 8 fixtures for you today. So without any further ado, let's get into it. As with the Europa League, we've got 4 early kickoffs and 4 late kickoffs. And the first of these matches sees 23rd finishing Molde taking on 10th place finishing Shamrock Rovers. Now, neither of these sides have played a competitive match since match day 6. So considering that this game is going to be played on February the 13th, neither of these sides have played a competitive match since December 19th. So almost 2 months since either of these sides have played a match. Now, in that match, Mlada Borislav were the victims of Molde, who only actually narrowly beat them 4-3 to qualify in 23rd place. So it's been a pretty damn poor Europa Conference League for Molde so far. For Shamrock, they lost 5-1 to the eventual league winners Chelsea, which unfortunately for them meant that they missed out on the top 8. But that is the only game that Shamrock lost in the entirety of the Conference League, which is why it's baffling to me why in all the previews that I've seen for this match, everyone expects Molde to win this one pretty comfortably. From where I'm looking, they've not played very well. Shamrock have played very, very well. So maybe the 2-month break is why people think there's going to be a difference. But again, you look at the actual stats across these two teams. Molde were unable to get a victory against Apoel. Shamrock were able to get a draw. Molde lost at home to Apoel. Shamrock also managed to draw away to Rapid Vienna, who of course qualified in the top 8. Their away record is fantastic in this competition so far. I don't understand why people do think Molde should be considered the real strong favourites for this from what I've seen thus far. I think what most people are backing is the fact that these two sides met just 2 seasons ago in this competition, but in the group stages back then. And on that occasion, Molde won 2-0 away and won 3-0 at home. So I think that's maybe what people are looking at. In terms of injuries and suspensions, obviously neither of these sides have played for 2 months. In terms of fitness, they should both have full complements available to them, and there are no suspensions coming into it. As I say, Molde are being considered the favourite, so I'm not going to take that away from you guys who think that that's the way this game is going to go. But in my head, I just don't see it. I'm happy to be wrong, but I'm going for a 2-1 win to Shamrock Rovers. Second up, it is NK Celje taking on Apoel Nicosia. Celje have lost both matches since their winter break. They're a side that has been playing some matches since the winter breaks have ended, but like I say, they have lost both of them since their return, both at home as well. And they've lost their goalkeeper Kolar to injury over the course of those 2 games as well. For Apoel, they've actually only had 1 defeat in their last 14, and they're unbeaten in all of their last 4 Europa Conference League matches. Let's be honest, they finished in the higher place for a reason. They are definitely on a much richer reign of form than their hosts for this match. Janis Satis will miss the game through suspension for them, as he was sent off in their draw with Astana on match day 6. To be honest with you, I just think it'd be a real surprise to see the home side get anything from this match. No disrespect to them. Like I say, they've come back really poor form after their winter break. Apoel are playing much better football than them at the moment. For me, this is an Apoel victory. I'm going for 2-0 to Apoel Nicosia. That then takes us to Backa, Topola and Jagiellonia Białystok. And, well, unfortunately for Backa, they're another side that have lost both of their matches since their winter break. So it's not looking good for them. Not only that, their key midfielder, Zakovac, I can't say his name properly, he has been sold to one of the Russian clubs, so he's obviously not going to be playing in this one either. That said, though, Jagiellonia probably shouldn't even be in the playoffs. They were in a great position to qualify for the top 8, but slipping up on both match day 5 and match day 6 has meant that they have slipped into 9th place and in this playoff position, but they are still playing some pretty good football at the moment. They did lose away domestically at the weekend, though, so that could throw a little bit of doubt over this, but again, the way Backa are playing at the moment, they've lost their midfielder. The only absentee for Jagiellonia is their midfielder, Diguez, is going to be out injured for them. Other than that, they are fully fit. And like I say, Backa do have a fully fit squad to call upon. They just don't have their old midfielder. Certainly over the 2 legs here, I am going to expect Jagiellonia to get the result. And I'm expecting them to get that started with a victory in this first leg. As I did say, though, their recent away form hasn't been great. But Backa's overall form recently hasn't been great. On paper, Jagiellonia are the better side. I'm going for them. I'm going for a narrow 2-1 win. That then takes us to the final of the early kickoffs, and it's my personal favourite team of the Europa Conference League. It is the Reykjavik Vikings taking on Panathinaikos, and thank you to whoever mentioned this in the comments a few weeks back to say that this match will be played on the Vikings' artificial pitch, so home advantage could be critical to them coming into this match. Also, it's worth noting that in the home matches they've played so far in the Conference League, they have won 2 and lost 1, whereas Panathinaikos have lost 2 and won 1 away from home. So there's definitely a chance that the Reykjavik Vikings can get a result in this one here. That said, Vikings have actually only played 1 competitive match since their respective winter break, and that was a 2-0 victory last Thursday back domestically. Panathinaikos have been keeping on playing over the course of these winter months, but they have lost their last 2 competitive matches, and former Manchester United player Facundo Pellistri has picked up a hamstring injury, which will mean that he will be missing from this match as well. For the Vikings, Gunnarsson is suspended following a red card on their matchday fixed result. But I still think there is a chance of at least a draw for the Reykjavik side in this one, and that is where I am going. I am going for a 1-1 draw for Vikings and Panathinaikos. On paper, Panathinaikos are still a much stronger team, but like I've said, there's a lot of reasons why I think the Vikings could get a result here. That then takes us to the later kickoffs, and we start off with BBL taking on Olimpija Ljubljana. We are, of course, talking about Bora Banja Luka, and they're another side who actually hasn't played any football at all since their match day 6 fixture. Obviously, they have been playing friendlies, but no competitive matches for almost 2 months for them. And they're taking on an Olimpija side who have won both of their matches since the winter break. So another one of these sides that have just been getting back up to speed. But unlike the other clubs we've spoken about so far, Olimpija have been back on winning form. So it's also worth noting they've won 2 of their 3 away games in this Conference League so far as well. To be fair though, BBL have actually not lost at home in this Europa Conference League so far. 1 win and 2 draws for them in their home matches. They're a very tough side to break down, especially at home. So for me, I think this is going to be a really, really close one over the 2 legs. I would expect Olimpija to come out on top. It's going to be really interesting to see how this one goes. As far as injuries and suspensions are concerned, from what I could see, both sides have a fully fit and available squad available to them coming into this match. So, in my head, it's going to be really, really tight, especially in this game taking place tomorrow. But I have to back the recent form of Olimpija and the fact that BBL haven't played a competitive game for 2 months. So I'm going to edge it 1-0 to Olimpija, but do not discredit the possibility of a 0-0 draw in this match. I think there is a very good chance that we see this one be goalless, with Olimpija more likely taking it next week back at home. That then takes us to Copenhagen and Heidenheim, and Copenhagen, yet another side who hasn't played a competitive match since match day 6. They were defeated 3-0 by Rapid Vienna on that day, but they had won their previous 6 matches in the lead up to that match day 6 defeat. For Heidenheim, though, they have, of course, carried on playing over the last few months. They have lost all of their last 4 matches domestically, and they have only had 1 win in their last 15 matches. And in those 15 matches, they have lost 12. So even though Copenhagen haven't played for 2 months, with them being the home side here, I have to expect them to be the favourites coming into this, just given how badly Heidenheim have been playing over the last few months. That said, Copenhagen did only win 1 of their 3 home games in the Europa Conference League so far, and Heidenheim actually won 2 of their 3 away games. In terms of injuries and suspensions, Falk is going to be missing for Copenhagen, and Dorsch is still unavailable for the German side. But look, I've said it enough through the course of this preview. I cannot overlook the form of Heidenheim. I cannot overlook the form of Copenhagen going in to their winter break. So I'm backing them to get the result on this first leg. And I'm going for a 3-1 victory to FC Copenhagen. That then takes us to Gent taking on Real Betis. And for Gent, it is 5 games unbeaten. But 4 of those 5 games have been draws. For Real Betis, it's only 1 win in 6. And that's possibly why these 2 sides are only separated by 2 places in the league table coming into this playoff match. And for me, it's a really hard one to call because, like I say, neither of them are particularly playing great football at the moment, but they're not necessarily playing bad football either. There's only one possible absentee for Gent, that is Max Dean. He is going to be missing through injury. But for Real Betis, they have got a whole host of injuries. Hector Bellerin, Sabili, Pablo Fornals, William Carvalho, as well as a couple more. But they do have the fidget spinner Anthony to call upon. Man of the match in his first match, a goal in his second match, but it's not actually helped their actual results having him in the side. In terms of Gent, like I say, they're having a relatively good season. They've actually won all of their home matches in this Conference League so far. Bizarrely, then losing all 3 of their away matches. For Real Betis, it's only 1 win and 2 defeats away from home. So with that said, I'm going to back that trend to continue. And I'm going to go for a narrow 2-1 win to Gent. And then finally, we've said it throughout the course of this Europa Conference League. It is the Cypriot Europa Conference League. And it is no shock to me that the first possible chance we have got an all-Cypriot tie, as it is Omonia Nicosia taking on Pafos. Omonia currently sit 3rd in the Cypriot League. Pafos are the comfortable league leaders away in Cyprus at the moment. Both of these sides on incredible unbeaten runs as well. Omonia unbeaten in their last 7. Pafos unbeaten in their last 6. So the only real things we've got to go on coming into this match is that Pafos have clearly had a better Europa League, Conference League campaign so far and have had a better league campaign so far back at home. However, when these 2 sides met in the league earlier on this season, it was Omonia Nicosia who came out on top away at Pafos. So that cannot be overlooked coming into this match. In terms of injuries and suspensions, neither side have any injuries or suspensions. They are both fully fit. And look, I have to mention it. These 2 sides have played each other 7 times in the last 2 seasons. And not a single one of those 7 matches has been won by the home side. That's how narrow it is between these 2 teams. It is an incredible, incredible tie. Great for Cyprus that they managed to have a match of this scale for them. To be honest, I can't split them. There is nothing really to split them. And what makes this even more incredible is that after they play the second leg next week, they're playing each other again in the league. They would have played each other 9 times in the space of 2 years, which is just ridiculous. Like I say, I can't split them right now. We'll see how this leg goes to make a more informative decision about the second leg. But I'm rounding off this video with a 1-1 draw between Omonia Nicosia and Pafos. And that is going to be it for this Europa Conference League. As always, let me know down in the comment section below anything you think I've missed. Give me your own predictions. Let me know if there are more teams that are playing on artificial pitches. Like I said, thank you to the person who told me about Vikings playing on an artificial pitch. I'm sure possibly at least one more of these teams, either in the home leg or the away leg, will be having their artificial pitches available. So let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching as always. I'll be back on Friday morning with the next round of Premier League predictions. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, we do this all over again. So a final thank you very much for watching once again. I'll see you very soon.